which one is the freezer. Probably this one. Well, I'm cold, but I don't think it's as cold as it's supposed to be. These buns are not frozen. So we got a walk-in freezer. We got some ice on the back, but it's just like just a very little bit of snow. And I always like to look on the front side, see if I can see coil or not, and there is no coil. So what I mean by that is she's frozen, guys. That's what I mean by that. So luckily it's snowy and not solid ice. It's gonna wash away real quick. I'm gonna get my pump sprayer and turn this thing off, clear out all that snow, turn her back on and see what happens. We'll do the diagnosis after that. Cannot diagnose it with a frozen coil. So I'll get back to you, you know? Get some tools and hot water or something. Now, we'll get it done. I just went and turned it off and came back in here and noticed something. The fans were still, you know, going slowly. This one's going backwards, guys. It's actually sucking and this one's blowing. So that is highly likely my problem. So I gotta get in there on this thing and see if it's one of those reversible motors or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run out there, turn it off. You guys watch. You can tell. You can tell. See if I can set you up somewhere. I would say it's highly unlikely this is gonna stay up. We're gonna try. All right, I'll be right back. You'll see it turn on. Okay, I ran back. Yes, that one is going backwards. So, that's super awesome. You can tell because of the way it is, you know. It's got to cup the air that way, not do the thing that way. Yeah, you know what I mean. Well, let's see if it's reversible. I'll kind of show you. I might have to get the fan blade off. I gotta get it off anyway because I gotta be able to thaw out all that ice. I'll be back. Okay, here's what we got. Our snowy mess. This is 150. I think these are 115 volt motors. I don't know. I have to look at the wiring and see what they're wired as. They may be wired as a 208. Either way you put it, it's a single phase, so it runs off a capacitor. And if you have a single phase motor going backwards, usually that means the capacitor is bad. So we're going to check capacitance on this little guy right here. All you got to do is pull off one side, if you can get to it. I don't want to touch it. I know it's dead, but capacitors, they can, you know, they can bite you. And I don't want to get bit, so we'll let my wire cutters do the biting. Come on. I know I should have used needle nose, but I can't find my needle nose, and these things have been arced, and so they don't cut wires anyway. Super awesome. All right, what do we got here? I think this should be 5. We're at 2. So that capacitor is bad. Theoretically, we should be able to just flip-flop a capacitor on it. I just need to make sure that it is actually supposed to be a 5. So I'm going to yank this puppy out of here. Need a little screwdriver in there. I call them squats. What do y'all call them? And I'll show you what I mean. here in a minute when I can find one. There she is. Squat. Some people call them stubbies. I call them squats. And loosen my screw there. Should just be able to slip that thing right on out of there. Yeah. And that is supposed to be a 5. So we're going to put a new capacitor on it. I'm gonna turn it on and see if it does its thing the right way. If it does, I'm gonna leave it alone. If it does not, we got a new motor in the truck ready to go in. The Fastcode 9721. If you are in refrigeration, you do refrigeration, you need to always have a Fastcode 9721 motor on your truck, because they're good for this application. They're good on condensers. They are very, very universal. Amazing motors. No, they ain't paying me. Ain't nobody paying me. My job pays me, but I'm not popular enough to, you know, make the monies like some people. Yep. I know. Some people also like to just get a water hose on her and go to town. You can do that. I mean, there's actually one right outside the door here, but I like to not make a mess because I don't like to clean my messes. So if you make one, you got to clean it. Yeah, this is going to come off really easy. It's kind of satisfying too. It's like I'm painting. Just a couple coats of paint. I'm going to do this Bob Ross style. And we're going to make a happy little snow angel here. We're gonna make the happy little snow angel die. Go, snow. This is going away very quickly. After I get it all thawed, I am going to turn it on, let it run with the thermostat being off for a little bit, just in case I missed any ice on the inside. But I am going to be painting this evaporator front and back, making sure to get every single bit of ice possible. Not possible, every single bit of ice no matter what. And then we'll check on that motor. I don't know, this is kind of satisfying. I don't know if y'all want to keep watching this or not. I'll tell you what, it's probably the easiest evaporator I've ever had to thaw out manually. And normally they're pretty rock solid, you know. Some good hard ice on them normally. I got lucky on this one. Well, I would have been lucky if there was no ice on it at all. Here's my dinger. Oh, there's a little bit of ice here. Yeah, and this is the side that's actually blowing the right way. Anywho, I'm not going to bore you with this part, so I'll get back to you. All right, 5 ferrets. There's 5 ferrets in this guy. And is it gonna fit in the hole? Yep. I might have to open her up a little bit more. This one might be a little bit bigger. There ain't very much more open I can get it though. That's about on the last thread. We may just have to spit on it, you know? Get it right in there. Now that fits in perfectly. Perfecto. Tighten her down and see if we turn the right direction. Tighten her down real good because we don't need that thing flopping around. Faux show. All right. Get our leads on there. Don't like touching these things. I don't think I can say that enough. There's one. Come on. Get on the thing. All right, 2. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. That's good enough, right? Good enough for government work. I'm gonna put this blade back. Actually, I can put both blades back on now. When you're installing blades, it's important to install them, you know, the right way. You want to make sure, well, this is all going to be at the very tip. You want to try to get half of the blade in and half out of this shroud. But we're at the tip end of our thing here, so we don't have a choice on this one. It is going to stay right where it is. This one's got a different shaft on it because this is the 9721 universal motor. Somebody already replaced on that. It might have been me. Who knows? No, wasn't me. I use a certain kind of wire nut. Everyone knows when I've been on a job just by looking at the wire nuts. Okay, come on, get in. What are we doing right now? Stop moving. How many times did I loosen this thing? Oh, I'm getting looser. Why didn't y'all tell me? I'm over here looking like an idiot. I know. That was pretty idiot of me. I don't really know my right from my left. I have to like look at my hands because I'm left-handed. So I know which one I write with. All right, get off of there. I'm gonna go flip a switch. I'm gonna set y'all up again. Maybe. If it works again this time. I can't see the thing, so I don't know what you're looking at, but let's hope that it's the right one. There we go, I think we're good. Yep, all right. I'm gonna flip it on, flip it off. I'll be right back. Did y'all see it? I couldn't get back in time. That's wonderful. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna cut this one and watch that clip that I just made and see what it's doing. Good thing for GoPros. I'll be back. Well, I saw what you already knew. That thing didn't do nothing, did it? How do we go from 2 microfarads to the right microfarads and we ain't doing nothing? That doesn't make any sense to me. It was going backwards. Oh, I bet I know what's going on here, folks. I bet that thing was going backwards because it wasn't even running at all. It was moving the opposite direction of this one because this one was blowing out. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because my power wire's in. Sometimes they ground out. That would have been a problem already. So my next thing is to make sure I'm actually getting power to it. So, I'm gonna need the headlamp. I'm gonna unplug it from here, turn it on, come in here and check and see if I've got voltage. If I've got voltage, then I'm gonna get that motor out of here and we'll put a new one in. Oh, super. All right, well, maybe I don't need my headlamp. Maybe I just use my phone flashlight. So I just gotta be able to see the thing. Get the plug out of there. They put them in with hooks so they don't come out. And I tell you what, they work. Those hooks. Because you need an extra hand, which is why I need my headlamp. Because it's just one hand to hold the hooks out, one hand to pull. All right. It is what it is. I'll be back. Am I rolling? I am rolling. So I checked power. I did get 208. So we got us a bad motor. This second time I turned it on, it actually did start. it just still ran backwards even with a good cap. So we're gonna run out to the truck and grab a 9721 if I can get this thing out of the thing here without poking a hole in that evaporator. Yep, there she is. I'm gonna go tinkle, get the motor, and I'll be back if I can find my button. Here it is, Fasco 9721. It's the original one. They stopped making or stopped selling these for a period of time, and I almost lost my mind because then you got to go find very specific motors, and these guys are very specific in a lot of different ways. They do all the stuffs. Size wise, they're going to match up. Sometimes you got to break these studs off the back if the motor is going to be a little bit bigger in the body. It's not any bigger, but you don't want those studs jamming into the, evaporator. So you just got to get a thing on them and twist, move them back and forth. Studs will pop right off. Not a big deal. Need a wrench. Wrench. Thought I had one out. Oh, right here in front of my face. Because that's where it is. This motor doesn't look that old, but it is OEM. I know that because it has the OEM plug, which I'm going to have to undo because this new one's going to have to be wire nutted. I can use actually the plug and just wire nut into the two legs of power. It is 208. Most freezers are. The entire evaporator in most freezers is going to be 208 volt single phase. The rooftop, the condenser part of it doesn't have to be on the roof. Sometimes those are single phase, sometimes they're three phase, but that all runs on the same circuit. So the same power that feeds here feeds up there. Coolers are different. It kind of depends on where you go, but traditionally your evaporator in your coolers is going to have its own circuit. Usually it's 115 volt, and then your condenser can be 115, 208, 230, single, three phase, anything, but they will have their own circuits typically. I have done replacements at times where I'm looking at the wiring going, what in the world is going on here? And they got the wiring from here to there just looking all funky. You just gotta figure it out. Really. You can't just wire one like the old one was and call it a day. I gotta take these things off, don't I? Oh, they're already loose. Well. Try not to drop them because I'm clumsy. Yeah, I'm gonna break those studs off the back. I'll show you how to do that. Right now, we'll get us some linemen. Yeah, right down here. Oh, where's our linemen? Where are they at? There's some linemen right there. Some lineman pliers. Just gonna grab on it and go back and forth. And she pops right off. Really easy to do. And that way we're not jamming these things into the evaporator coil, because that's just not a good thing to do. You might make it all right. Things might be okay. Then again, you might not. And that one's causing me some problems. There it goes. And this is the one with the ground, so we're going to take it a little bit higher. It's not the ground, it's actually holding the capacitor on. There we go. Okay, that's how you do that. That'll be $800, please. All right. More about this Fasco motor. How about that? It's reversible rotation. It uses ball bearings. Dual voltage. You can do 115 or 208, 230. And The shaft length used to be longer. I guess whenever they stopped selling them, maybe the company that was making them just quit, and then another company picked them up. The shafts used to be about an inch or two longer, which a lot of times with these old models with the shafts that long, I actually had to cut the shaft just to be able to fit the fan guard over it. But I haven't had that problem recently. Get her on nice and tight. Wish I had a nut driver for this. These are like 4-inch sizes, you know, the metrics. We don't do that here in the US of A. Well, some people do. I don't do that here in the US of A. How about that? The only thing that I have metric is sockets, only because they come in the kit, and Allen wrenches. Okay, let's see our rotation and get that set right first. I can't see a thing. Alright, ball bearings, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, motor, blah blah blah. Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything. Well, where's the wiring diagram, people? Voltages. Alright, here we go. Shaft end, we want it to go that way, which is, you know, I don't have a normal watch. Clockwise. So CWSE, we're gonna have, well, this doesn't even make sense. I think it's gonna be backwards. I'm gonna do orange to yellow and orange to yellow. Kit, how do you turn off? So right now we are not that way. We're gonna take this out, flip it over, and stick it right back in. Now we should be going the right direction. And according to this 208 230, I'm going to take the black and orange and cap them. Luckily, I filled my pockets up with some good old wire nuts yesterday. So they got a lot of wires hanging. So what I like to do on these is cut back those that I'm not going to be using. Just not all the way, because you need to be able to tack them onto something. Just cut them back a little bit, you know? Which ones did I say? Black and orange get put together and capped. There's my black and orange. Just gotta beat them out of the stuff. I don't like getting them all tangled up either. You know what, I am going to leave the length on these, because that's just what I want to do. That's why. Alright, there's black and orange. Purple is going to be one line. White gets capped. And my other line voltage is going to be, well, white. Well, what gets capped? Yellow gets capped. Glad I reread that. So we have purple and white are my line. Make sure you put your ground somewhere, people. Muy importante to have the ground somewhere. Oh, let me go ahead and put the thing on. Yeah, let's do that, meow. So what I meant by I'm going to use this is just going to be my 2 lines of voltage going in. No, this is boring. I'm going to get back to you once I get it all ready to, you know, put the sparks on it. Boom. Let's go turn it on. I have to look at my face while I go out there. The moment of truth. He's loud. So that's just because this is rattling like this. But we're definitely blowing the right way now. Yeah, that thing's just trying to suck that thing right on out of there. I'm gonna turn it off and get these covers back on, and I'll get back with you when I go check charge. All right, so I totally fat-fingered the little screen thingy here and hit the delete button on the last clip, and so we're gonna do the last clip right here, and you get to see a friendly face in this one. That's Becca. Say hi, Becca.
Hi.
Okay. I did go back up and check charge, but I didn't bring my ladder out. I didn't bring gauges out because it's like 7 feet in the air. All right, I'm 6 feet tall. All I got to do is like look that direction. Side glass wasn't flashing. The thing cooled like 15 degrees in I don't know how many minutes. I might have already said this because I did actually recorded this one, I don't know, a week or two ago. I don't remember. All I remember is it was definitely full of charge. I wasn't worried about that. It was just the fan. So this is one of those things that I found on accident, which, you know, usually when I walk into a walk-in cooler or freezer and the fans are running, one of the first things I do is put my hands in front of both of them. I didn't do that this time. I just got lucky that I happened to walk in while it was turned off and saw them both, you know, doing this, but, you know, that. This and that. That's not what they're supposed to be doing. So I would have found it out eventually. Just I'm glad that I did it like that and not, you know, start blaming expansion valve like we all do. We know who you are. That's okay. I do the same thing. Anyway, that's all I got. Everything was working great and wonderful and perfect. That was the second motor that had been replaced. The right side had already been replaced previously, so now we got 2 new motors in it. We're good to go. Until next time.